Yes, sir.
Have you done any study of the situation that existed on the East African coast, Zanzibar, and what some people report as the slave trade in that area?
Well, I had the opportunity in 1995 to go to Zanzibar. And I was a friend of a family who knows, there's a Saleh family. Actually, in the Saleh, my friend's older sister was Karume's wife, the one who was overthrown. And we was looking for Dr. Sharif. There's a Dr. Sharif who was a well-known writer out of there. I was looking for Dr. Sharif. And so I went to Zanzibar, and we went downtown. And one of my friends there was a tour guide. He did this to make money. So I said to him, I want you to take me on a tour of Zanzibar. Just the same way you take somebody from France or Russia or wherever. Right? Just give it to me the way you're supposed to give it to a regular. So he took me to a place, they said this is the slave chambers. It's downtown, right? The slave chambers. And it was a stuffy place. You go down inside there, and my friend is from the Saleh family. They're Omanis, okay? Although he looks like an Afro-American, but he's an Omani, right? And so he was talking about the dirty old Arabs and what they did. They took the Africans and they did this to them and whatever. And I was getting uptight myself. I was going to punch the brother in the head. Like, I was really like, I was feeling like, because my own thing was coming out, right? And he was almost crying, because he was saying, like, how could my family have done this? Okay? And that was then we went up and there was a cathedral there. And they said that this Catholic church was built on the place of a slave market that was there downtown. Okay? And then they took us to Sultan Bargash. He had a palace there and whatever, and they took us around. So then I went to the archives, and I met Professor Hamad, who was one of the main professors in the archives. And we started to talk. And he told me that Dr. Sharif and the main historians in the island, when independence came and they opened up these slave chambers, they challenged the place. What they said, they found out, and they have historical proof to show that the slave chambers was actually a place where the British stored medicine, because there was an outbreak of cholera. It was not slave chambers. Okay? Also, the so-called slave market, they said when they checked the records, there was one stand that was there, okay? And you know that there was a low volume of actually slaves who were sold from that market. And when Sultan Baragash was ordered by the British to count the slaves, to free everybody and to count the slaves on Zanzibar, he counted 10,000 people who could be of a slave lineage. And there's a fairly large population there. And so what we realized from that is that there has been exaggeration that has gone on. There's been a big exaggeration, okay? And no doubt that the Omanis, when they first came into the coastal region there, they were working with the Swahili people. The people had already been in Islam before the Omanis, long before. Some people even date it back to the 2nd or 3rd century after the Hijrah, that Muslims penetrated East Africa. So the Swahili culture was already developed. So when the Omanis came in, they were helping the people resist the Portuguese. But after a while, when they took over, they became pirates themselves. And they actually were involved in transporting people from the interior of Africa, East Africa, into different parts of the Muslim world. And even in Pakistan and other places, there are some African groups that can be linked to the slaves, the Makran, they're called in Karachi. And there's certain people that could be linked, possibly, to the Africans who were transported up there by the Omanis. So it definitely did go on.